Railsplitter. Oh, I split my fair share of rails in the day. I was handier with an axe than one might believe from the mere sight of me. My father used to offer my services to neighboring farms who suffered a lack of brawny sons. I'd cut timber for cabins and fences and then help build them. The farmer's life wasn't for me, but those long hours slinging an axe taught me the worth of hard labor. But Railsplitter? I didn't know what my ability to crack a log in two with one thwack had to do with my ability to be president. But Mr. Richard Oglesby insisted that the Railsplitter would win, that the hard-working American people needed a champion to connect to. I was smart enough to know when to defer to the opinions of my colleagues, but I must admit that my stomach turned at the thought of a political show. The Republican Party elected me as their candidate for president in August 1860. Oglesby stood before the crowd of 3,000, stacked into a 900-person hall, and announced that a distinguished citizen of Illinois, and one of whom Illinois ever delights to honor, is present. His theatrics nearly lost the crowd before he finally called out the name, my name, Abraham Lincoln. Heads turned, fingers pointed, hands pushed and pulled at me as they heaved my considerable mass toward the stage. I tumbled over that crowd like a fish over boiling water. I hope the gentleman I believe I knuckled in the nose heard my apology. Thrown onto the stage and into the spotlight, I admit to being sheepish before crowds chanting my name. Nevertheless, I thanked the crowd for their support. And then the star of Oglesby's performance arrived, the rails. My cousin, John Hanks, brought on stage twin fence rails and a plaque that named them to be cut by my very axe, 2 out of some 3,000 that John and I had made in our youth. I saw immediately their ploy, but I had a reputation for honesty to uphold, so after careful inspection of the work, I admitted to the crowd that John and I had cut many rails, but if these were my work, I had made better. The crowd seemed pleased. That day, I became the Republican candidate that would go on to battle with wits and tongue for the presidency. That day, I became the Railsplitter.
An American icon, an American hero, an American life. Only from 7K.